I have just returned after spending 2 weeks in sub-Saharan Africa. I would like to tell you about my trip. I flew from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Cape Town, South Africa. It was quite a long trip. It took around 23 hours to get there. I arrived in Cape Town. It is located on South Africa's southwest peninsula. The population is 434,000 people. February is the hottest month with an average high temperature of 73 degrees Fahrenheit, and June is the coolest month with an average high temperature of 55 degrees Fahrenheit. I got checked in to my hotel, and I am ready to start my adventure. My first stop was the Castle of Good Hope. This fort was built between 1666 and 1679. It was built in the shape of a pentagon and has 5 corners. The fort contained a church, bakery, workshops, living quarters, shops, and cells. Camps Bay is a beautiful beach of fine white sand with a natural rock swimming pool and a view of the 12 Apostles Mountains. Table Mountain Cableway is a cable car that takes visitors 2,500 feet up to the top of Table Mountain. The trip takes 4 to 5 minutes, and each cable car can hold up to 65 people. I left the group and went on a Sunset City bike tour of Cape Town. The tour was a great way to see the city, and we saw amazing scenery from the mountains to the Atlantic Ocean. The next stop on our tour was the Kalahari Transfrontier Park. Kalahari means place of thirst. The park is 15,000 square miles in size. About 75% of the park is in Botswana and 25% is in South Africa. The park is made up of red sand dunes, sparse vegetation, occasional trees, and the dry riverbeds of 2 rivers. The rivers flow only about 1 time every century. The park has a lot of wildlife living there. Some of the largest predators are lions, panthers, leopards, cheetahs, and hyenas. Because of the dry desert, dunes, and dry riverbeds, the guide told us to rent off-road vehicles. We headed north to the Chobe National Park in Botswana. We went on an amazing safari with our group and saw some incredible animals. The elephants in the Chobe Park are Kalahari elephants, the largest of all elephants. The park is well known for their elephant population. They estimate that there are 50,000 elephants living there. Lions in the Chobe Park are called Savuti lions. They do most of their hunting and stalking at night by the moonlight. The Chobe riverfront is famous for its high numbers of Cape buffalo. During the dry months, they can be seen going to the riverbanks for water. The fish eagle has a piercing call that can be heard far distances. They feed on fish they can catch when they swoop down to the water surface from high in the trees. The giraffe's height is helpful for keeping a lookout for predators such as lions and hyenas. Their excellent eyesight allows them to spot hungry beasts from far away. Gray herons are tall with long legs, a long beak, and gray, black, and white feathers. They stand with their necks stretched out, looking for food, or hunched down with their necks on their chest. One of my favorite stops on the tour was Victoria Falls, also known as the Smoke That Thunders. The waterfall is on the Zambezi River at the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia. The Zambezi River is the longest east-flowing river in Africa. It flows through 6 countries from Zambia to the Indian Ocean. I thought I would be daring and try the bungee jump. I headed to the Victoria Falls Bridge and got on my gear. After 4 seconds of free falling, I dropped 364 feet towards the rapids of the Zambezi River. It made my heart skip a beat, literally. I decided to test my luck and try the Devil's Pool. It was a scary walk and a swim to get there. I jumped into the pool and the force of the river pushed me to the edge. It was intimidating, but the view from the edge was incredible. Our group left Zimbabwe and went north to find a rainforest ecosystem. We traveled up the Zambezi River to southern Uganda. We stopped at the Kabale Forest National Park. The park is 296 square miles in size. The Macquarie University Biological Field Station is also located here. The park is most popular for its population of endangered chimpanzees and other primates. We took a tour of the Kabali Park in search of the chimpanzees. They have a large group of habituated communities. What this means is that the chimpanzees are used to being around human beings. Next, we found the blue monkey. They are small, ranging from 8 to 13 pounds. They live to be around 20 years of age, and they eat mainly fruits and leaves. We wanted to see a city, so we headed east to visit Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya. The name Nairobi stands for cool water, which is the Nairobi River that flows through the city. There are wealthy families living there, but the majority of the Nairobians are average and poor. It is said that half of the population live in slums, but Nairobi is also home to thousands of Kenyan businesses and over 100 major international companies. A quick stop in Mogadishu, Somalia. I know that visitors are encouraged to stay inside since it is not safe, but we wanted to see a few sights. We went to Old Shanghai City, the Bakara Market, and Jazeera Beach. Our last stop on the tour was Timbuktu in Mali. Timbuktu is located on the southern side of the Sahara Desert. It is surrounded by sand dunes and the streets are covered in sand. Our favorite stop was the Jinwerber Mosque. It was built in 1327 and is a famous learning center. That wraps up my trip to Africa. We started in Cape Town, went north to the Kalahari Desert, then to Botswana, and continued north to Zimbabwe. We then went up to the Zambezi River to Uganda, east to Kenya, a little further east to Mogadishu, Somalia, and ended our journey traveling northwest to Timbuktu, Mali. Next stop, Pittsburgh.